Hello there. This is the CPG Weekly Briefing for September 9 to 15, 2025. Number 1. Clean label surge, energy bets, and AI farming. This week in CPG, Tyson Foods pledges to cut corn syrup and a slew of additives by 2025. Major food makers accelerate dye and sweetener bans, and Procter & Gamble warns of price hikes even as consumers tighten their belts. In beverages, Nutrabolt injects 160 million into Bloom Nutrition, PepsiCo deepens its Celsius stake, and Red Bull presses ahead with a $1.7 billion plant. Coca-Cola taps AI to save the orange supply, Planet Earth shutters its PET recycling plant, and Death Wish Coffee names a new CEO. Let's dive in. Clean label momentum and price sensitivity. On September 15th, Tyson Foods said it will eliminate high fructose corn syrup, sucralose, titanium dioxide, and the synthetic antioxidants BHA BHT from all US products by the end of 2025. The move follows its removal of petroleum-based dyes earlier this year and is framed as a response to the Make America Healthy Again initiative. Other big food makers are already on similar paths. A Reuters fact box published September 15th notes that Mars plans to remove artificial colors by 2026. Hershey, J.M. Smucker, Conagra, and General Mills aim for 2027. Nestle, Kraft Heinz, and Kellogg target mid-2026 to late 2027. Sam's Club will strip more than 40 ingredients, including dyes and aspartame, from members marked by 2025. And Tyson intends to stop using synthetic dyes and sweeteners by the end of 2025. Despite the clean label push, Procter & Gamble expects to raise prices on about 25% of its US products in the mid-single-digit range. The company's CFO said on July 29 earnings call that consumers are using up pantry inventory and increasingly seeking value in smaller packs, promotions, or large club sizes. Management projects a slight downturn in consumption and blames tariffs for a $1 billion cost hit. What are the implications? Reformulation timelines are tightening. Procurement teams should secure natural color and sweetener supplies now. Packaging and marketing must communicate ingredient changes without alienating price-sensitive shoppers. Retailers should expect price pack architecture to shift, smaller trial sizes, and club pack bargains. Energy drink arms race and M&A activity. The energy drink boom continues to reshape portfolios. On September 10, Nutrabolt increased its investment in Bloom Nutrition by nearly $160 million, boosting its total stake to about $210 million and deepening ties with Keurig Dr. Pepper. Nutrabolt first invested $50 million for 20% of Bloom in 2024. The latest deal allows both companies to explore new platforms and expands Keurig Dr. Pepper's wellness portfolio. Bloom has broadened beyond superfood powders into better-for-you sodas, energy drinks, and gummies. Analysts note that the global energy drink market could reach $125 billion by 2030. Meanwhile, PepsiCo agreed on August 29 to invest $585 million in Celsius Holdings. The deal raises Pepsi's stake to 11% and hands Celsius the rockstar energy brand in the US and Canada. Celsius CEO John Fieldly said the partnership will let Celsius serve more customers and capture more than 20% share of the energy drink segment. PepsiCo will focus on distributing and operating the brands while Celsius drives innovation. This builds on Red Bull's plan to open a $1.7 billion, 2.36 million square feet plant in North Carolina by 2028, capable of producing 3 billion cans annually and creating 700 jobs, a project revived September 9 after a 4-year delay. So what are the implications? Expect more vertical partnerships and swap-outs, exchanging brands for distribution rights. Retail buyers should plan shelf resets as the energy category diversifies, health-focused versus classic formats. And supply chain teams must prepare for domestic can shortages as new plants ramp up and tariffs raise aluminum costs. Moving on to AI and the orange juice crisis. Coca-Cola is harnessing generative AI to tackle the citrus greening disease threatening global oranges. On September 10th, the company announced it was joining the MIT Generative AI Impact Consortium as a founding member. The consortium's first initiative, Project Save the Orange, aims to combat citrus greening, a bacterial disease that has infected most of Florida's orange trees and spread to Brazil. Coca-Cola noted that without better detection and treatment, the global orange supply could disappear within 25 years. US orange production has plunged from 5.5 million tons a decade ago to a USDA forecast of 2.5 million tons in 2025, and the nation now supplies only 5% of the world's oranges. The AI project, developed with Brazilian research group Fundis Citrus and Envio Sciences, will leverage agri-tech, computer science, and life science expertise. So what are the implications? Supply chain risk is now an AI problem. Beverage and ingredient buyers should anticipate citrus shortages and secure alternative food bases. AI partnerships may drive pre-competitive research. Other CPGs should explore consortia for crops at risk. And brands can use this narrative to connect sustainability, innovation, and climate resilience in marketing. Moving on to recycling and packaging shifts. A setback for recycling. Planet Earth, a vertically integrated PET recycler and food packaging producer, shut its Vernon, California facility in early September. The $100 million plant processed curbside PET bottles and thermoforms and could manufacture 80 million pounds of packaging annually. Industry sources say California now has only 4 PET reclaimers buying bales. Cheap imported virgin resin and softening demand from Mexico has made it difficult for domestic recyclers to compete. Recycling brokers are struggling to find buyers for grade B PET bales, and some fear more closures. At the same time, packaging innovation marches on. Sam's Club China is testing label-free water bottles. Nutrition facts go on the outer case, reducing ink and simplifying recycling. Crocs partnered with Eco Enclose to use Living Ink's algae-based black ink for 3.2 million shoe boxes, eliminating fossil-based pigments. PacTech released a 100% recycled HDPE child-resistant cap called PacLock for hemp cannabis beverages. It uses near-infrared detectable colorants, so it's compatible with recycling streams. In M&A, Georgia Pacific announced plans to acquire rigid container maker Anchor Packaging, strengthening its Dixie tableware business and adding innovation capabilities. On the policy front, California lawmakers passed SB 682, which would ban intentionally added PFAS in food packaging and various consumer products by 2028. Another bill, AB 823, will ban plastic microbeads in non-rinse-off personal care products by 2029 and plastic glitter by 2030. However, a bill to ban bispheноls and phthalates in packaging stalled. CPGs must prepare for potential PET shortages and explore partnerships with recyclers in other regions. Packaging teams should monitor PFAS and microbead bans and accelerate move to PFAS-free single material and label-free formats. M&A and innovation in rigid and flexible packaging present opportunities to lock in sustainable supply. Moving on to leadership moves and culture. In people news, Death Wish Coffee appointed Steve Gardner as CEO on September 15. Gardner previously led Nature's Bakery for more than 3 years and spent 24 years in leadership roles at PepsiCo. Founder Mike Brown said Gardner brings deep consumer insight and digital retail expertise, which will accelerate Death Wish Coffee's velocity. The privately held brand claims to be the #1 organic and free trade coffee in the US and is sold in more than 25,000 retail locations. What are the implications? The hire underscores how talent flows across CPG categories, with snack executives moving into beverage and vice versa. Small but fast-growing brands are recruiting seasoned leaders to scale omni-channel distribution. Suppliers and brokers should anticipate new strategies and channel priorities for Death Wish. Moving on to extended producer responsibility and recycling policy. Finally, a quick note on EPR. At the Packaging Recycling Summit in September, stakeholders debated whether EPR alone can drive recycled content uptake. 7 states now have EPR laws for packaging. Colorado's laws sets specific 2030 recycling content requirements: 20% for rigid plastic, 5% for flexible plastic, 40% for paper and metals, and 30% for glass, while other states have standalone mandates. Experts said EPR primarily funds collection systems. Without complementary recycled content targets, market shifts are unlikely. There are concerns about verifying chemically recycled content. Mass balance accounting methods can inflate claims, prompting calls for traceability. So what are the implications? Brands should prepare for dual compliance, reporting under EPR plus separate recycled content mandates. Anticipate tighter audit requirements on chemically recycled materials. Plan for chain of custody documentation. Advocacy groups may push for federal harmonization to ease multi-state complexity. And in closing, 5 action steps for the week ahead. As you head into the next week, here's your 5-point playbook. Accelerate clean label reformulations. Lock supply contracts for natural colors and sweeteners. Communicate changes clearly to shoppers. Number 2, revisit energy drink category strategy. Analyze cross-brand partnerships, Nutrabolt Bloom, Pepsi Celsius, and forecast demand spikes as Red Bull's plans come online. Number 3, invest in AI-enabled supplier resilience. Explore consortiums or partnerships to address climate-threatened ingredients like oranges. Number 4, strengthen recycling and packaging supply chains. Diversify rPET sources, test label-free and PFAS-free formats, and prepare for microbead bans. And number 5, monitor leadership changes in culture. Engage new decision makers like Deathwish's Steve Gardner. Anticipate shifts in procurement and marketing priorities. Want a tailored action checklist or teleprompter script with shortlists? Just let me know. Until next week, stay ahead.